What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk about why you have to get mentally lean. All right. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm excited to make this one because I haven't heard anybody talk about mental leanness. There's thousands of videos on YouTube right now where they say you need to get lean, you need to get lean. And they talk about physically, obviously. You need to get physically lean, physically lean. And I'm like, damn, I don't hear nobody talking about how you need to get mentally lean. All right, so I want to go ahead and break that down for you, what I'm talking about. And I've got some talking points that I want to hit as well. Okay, so first off, what do I mean by getting mentally lean? Think about it. It's pretty much the same as getting physically lean. All right, when you try to get lean, all right, and you put in the work in the gym and you're cutting body fat, okay, that's what getting lean is lowering your body fat percentage so that you can see your muscle definition, you can see your strength, almost so you can see the real version of you. You can see the work that you've put in, shedding that fat, shedding that unnecessary shit that is holding you back from really flexing. All right, if you know what I'm talking about, okay? So mental leanness is the same thing. It's almost like shedding mental body fat. All right. But what does that mental body fat look like? Okay. That can look like your overthinking, your self-doubt, your lack of confidence. You got a messed up inner voice, inner critic, inner dialogue. You have no follow-through game. You have no self-respect for yourself. You don't even trust yourself. This is all like mental obesity. This is weight that you are carrying around that is keeping you from showing up as the strongest, most authentic version of yourself. That's what I mean by getting mentally lean. It's clearing all that nonsense out of the way so that you, the real you, can shine, can flourish, can thrive in your life. And I don't mean thrive like being a millionaire. What I mean is walking through your life on a day-to-day basis and not being bothered by every little thing. Not letting every little thing that doesn't go your way knock you off your square. That's what being mentally unfit will do for you. That's what that overthinking, overanalyzing, no purpose, that's what it will do. It will drag you down. But once you start to get self-aware, once you start to take yourself more seriously, get in the gym, start becoming more emotionally intelligent, emotionally mature, get your emotions under control. Not even your emotions necessarily, how you respond to them out here in the world. Getting that under control. This is all mental leanness. This is all going to drastically change how you experience the world and how the world experiences you. I'm telling you, when you start working out, and I talk about this in all my videos, you know what I'm saying? When you start working out, of course, your physical appearance is going to change. Absolutely. It's going to change. But your mental is going to sharpen up with that as well, too. All right. You're going to get mentally lean whether you want to or not. So I want to share with you some of the benefits that happen when you start getting mentally lean. When you start clearing out the mental clutter. When you start doing this, one of the first things you start to notice is that you have more clarity and you make better decisions. When you start to lean up mentally, you're not bogged down by, you know, uncertainty that you may have within yourself. Okay, now let me break that down a little bit. A lot of us are unsure of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not confident in our decision making. We might have to bounce it off of 12 people. Hey man, what do you think? I've been thinking about starting my own business. I've been thinking about going back to school. What would you do? What do you think I should do? And it's cool to get other people's insight. Maybe somebody who's done it, who's been on your journey or walked that same path. But you don't have to be seeking what other people would do with their lives because that can throw you off. So when you start leaning up mentally, you start trusting yourself more. You start realizing that you are capable of making solid decisions and following through with these decisions and getting you where you want to be in your life. Okay. What up, Mike? Okay. You just become more clear headed, man. But it takes intention, man, and it takes work. It's not just gonna magically happen because you're mentally lean. No, you gotta do things. You gotta meditate. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get off your damn phone. You gotta start getting better sleep. You gotta start eating better. This is gonna clear up your mental as well. Okay. Now, one of the second things that starts to happen when you get mentally lean is that not everything hits you so hard. All right. And what I mean by everything is just, things in life. You know what I'm saying? It could be like you talking to a girl and she don't text you back right away or something, or it's been hours since you've heard from her. You know what I'm saying? When you have a lot of mental clutter, when you are an overthinker, when you are somebody who is really good at creating problems in your own mind, everything will hit you harder than it needs to because you believe the stories that develop up here. You believe them too easily, too frequently. If you don't take anything from this video, man, I want you to learn how to stop believing everything you think. And that ain't easy either. You got to meditate, all right? If you know my videos, you know me, I talk about meditating all the time. It helps you develop a better relationship with your thoughts, how you think, how you see yourself, how you see everybody out here in this world. And it makes everything not hit so hard. Okay? A lot of our problems start up here. We craft it, we mold it, we make it bigger than it needs to be. Okay? But once you start getting mentally lean, you start to realize that it is what it is. I can either make this bigger than it needs to be, or I can accept what is and find the lesson in it, apply that to my life, and move forward. The more you start doing that, the more you start getting the reps in of how to do that, I'm telling you, your life gonna be a little bit easier. You still gonna have challenges, you still gonna have problems in your life, but they won't hit you so hard. All right, now the third thing you start to experience when you get mentally lean is that you start to make room for positivity and purpose in your life. You don't really have time. You don't really have the patience for like a bunch of negativity, a bunch of drama, a bunch of lack of focus. You make room for, I'm on a quest. I'm on a mission. And I need to make sure that this tool is sharpened to make sure that my quest, my journey is not that it's as smooth as it needs to be, because there will be challenges. There will be bumps in the road, but that I ain't got time for the bullshit. That's where you want to get at with your mindset. I don't have time for the nonsense. I'll use this YouTube as an example. You know what I mean? This is me pumping out positivity. This is me pumping out purpose. I don't have time for the other nonsense of the gossip of what's going. Like, I don't have time for that. That drains my energy and drains my battery as well. But because I'm mentally lean, and when you get mentally lean, you'll realize that you'll make room in your life for things that are building you up, that are giving you that glow. It could be a YouTube channel, TikTok, whatever. There's a lot of social media platforms. And you'll find a way that you can pour out into the world. That's what getting mentally lean does. You're not just so bogged down by the social media shit, the fake shit you see on social media. The everything is happy and everything is beautiful, and we're all rich and we got big houses and shit. Like, I mean, I think that's great. That's great if that's your life, but don't let what somebody else has make you think any less of what, yourself and what you may not have in that moment. You may not have it now. You might have to put in the work. You might have to start being more positive. You might have to start talking to yourself a different way. How do you talk to yourself? What's your internal dialogue like? Is that shit terrible? Do you beat yourself down? Let me know in the comments if y'all deal with any of this. What's your internal dialogue like? You know what I'm saying? You got a positive, uplifting inner coach inside of you? Or you got that voice that's like, man, you ain't shit. The hell you trying to be positive for? But that's one of the things that you'll experience too, getting mentally lean as well. All right. You start to make room for that positivity and for purpose and for people who are kind of on the same frequency as you. All right. Now, the fourth thing that you start to experience is that your confidence shows more when you get mentally lean. You become more confident. Like I said, you'll see a trend here. You're not bogged down by social media, comparing yourself to other people. When you start to declutter your mind, you start to see your path clearer. You start to see, okay, what do I need to do to get to where I want to be and who I want to be? When you're so cluttered up, and say like you drink too, you might drink, smoke hella weed all the time. And I'm not here to shame anybody that drinks or shame anybody that smokes weed. I have a relationship with weed too. You know what I mean? I don't drink alcohol. I quit alcohol 8 years ago. But those are just examples of things that if you lack awareness, they can take over your life. They can cloud your judgment. They can cloud your ability to see who you really are, what you're capable of, that confidence that lies within you. If you're covering it up and you're masking it with a bunch of, alcohol, a bunch of not drugs, drugs too, a bunch of weed smoke, you're not really able to see yourself, as you really are, or who you have the potential to truly be. But once you start taking yourself seriously, start cutting out nonsense, that overthinking, that self-doubt, how you talk to yourself, things like that, like I shared in the front end of this video, when you start cutting that stuff out, your confidence starts to show through because you'll start to step more into an authentic version of yourself. And there's nothing more confident than authenticity. But you gotta clear out some of the nonsense out the way. You gotta clear out some things that maybe weighing you down and holding you back from getting there. All right. For if y'all are getting any value out of this so far, man, please smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you know when I make more videos just like this. I really appreciate it. All right. Now, where am I at? I got 7 on this list, so I'm at number 5. When you get mentally lean, you'll learn that you can handle more. And what I mean is you expand your capacity to handle more. When I say more, I mean tough shit. Not even tough. It could be like at your job. For example, I wait tables, right? And at times, like where I wait tables, man, we had a mom and pop place. I don't work for a corporate spot where you have to carry a big ass tray with 5 plates on it, and hey, how you guys doing? No, like we carry our shit on our. You stack them up. We on the wrist. We risk game here. So when you're mentally lean, so let me give you an. I become more capable in the sense of, well, I've been waiting tables for a while, so I can carry a bunch of shit, right? Because I'm capable of doing that. I'm the type of dude is like, they'll be handing stuff out the window. I got like 3 plates here. I got 2 plates here. They'll be like, Bryce, you good? Give it to me. Let's go. I have it on my fingers. I had that last 2 plates like stacked on my fingers. I'm loaded up. I walk to the table. Hey guys, I got a classic breakfast right here. Y'all mind grabbing that top one off the top for me? And then I'll just delegate everything because I'm fully capable. Ain't shit gonna get dropped on the floor. And I'm walking confidently. I look like I ain't gonna say I look like a fool, but I'm all layered up with plates and shit. But I'm fully capable. My mind is clear. My mind is sharp. I'm not worried about how goofy I might look with carrying 6 plates. Or even there's a sense sometimes when you're carrying a bunch of things in the food industry, you might feel eyes on you. You might feel people watching you, and that can create an anxiety in you. It can make you nervous. It can make you feel like, oh shit, don't let me drop nothing, like you're on stage. Okay. But when you're mentally lean, you have a certain level of confidence within yourself. You know that you can do more. So give me more. I'm one of the people that can handle more. That's what starts happening when you start decluttering your mind and getting out of your own way. You start to realize how much more you can take on, not just physically carrying some plates. I ain't talking about that. That's just an example I'm giving you. But you expand your capacity to be able to handle more. And I just did a video where I was talking about why being fit and self-aware makes you steady in chaos. And I was talking about a coworker of mine. I'll leave the link for that video too, so you can check that out too. But I was talking about a coworker of mine who deals with anxiety, ADHD. Her capacity to do certain things is limited because she's stuck in her head. That's what happens. When you're stuck in your head, you limit your capacity to do things. But once you start leaning up, mentally leaning up, you'll expand that capacity. All right, where we at on this list? Okay. The sixth thing that you'll start to experience when you start getting mentally lean is that you get off autopilot. Okay. When you start leaning up and decluttering, um, like past ways of operating, how you may do things. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to think of an example here. Like when I used to get triggered during an argument with my ex or something, right? It was like an automatic autopilot way of reacting. You know, I get triggered, I cuss, I talk some shit, I can fall into name calling. This is back when I was unhealthy. Fall back into name calling and just be an asshole when I get to that level. I don't wake up this way. I didn't wake up this way. But when you're just misunderstood, trying to explain yourself, feeling like you're just being met with defensiveness, you know what I mean? You have these like automatic autopilot ways of reacting. And those ways, man, they are so deeply embedded in you from when you was younger that you don't even realize it's happening. But once you start to lean up, once you start to declutter old ways of operating, when you really start to understand your internal operating system, why you move the way you move, when you start to really see this shit, you can get yourself off autopilot. Okay. How I did it, man, meditating, bro. Meditating and being more mindful will get your ass off of autopilot. You will take more control of your life. You are in the driver's seat. You're not just along for the ride in the back seat with the seatbelt on, going wherever the hell your emotional state or your overreactions want to take you. You get in the driver's seat and you say, you know what? I got control of this. I don't need to overreact to this. I'm mentally clear headed. And if I have a lot of shit on my mind, I'm also aware enough to know that I need to take a minute for myself. I don't need to respond to this right now. I'm not going to respond in a way that's healthy. This is what you'll start to see too when you get mentally lean. Start to declutter your mind. Start to work on your self-awareness, your emotional intelligence. This is going to allow you to declutter your mind and get all this nonsense out the way. So you ain't overreacting to things that don't require that level of a reaction. This aggressive, oh, what the, the rah rah. You don't need all that. All right. And for this last way that for this last thing that you really start to see when you get mentally lean, the real you starts to show. I kind of tapped on that before, man. The authentic version of you, man. The you that moves in integrity. That version of you that moves with purpose. Like I said, authenticity, realness. That's who you'll start to see start to step to the forefront when you start to get more mentally lean, when you get more mentally sharp. Okay. When you start to really take this thing here, this tool, which is very powerful, when you start to take it more seriously. And it's not just about mental, it's the emotional aspect of things too. That emotional intelligence component. Your mental, your emotional, your spiritual as well. That's a different video. Your physical, your vessel. Your physical is a vehicle for all of this, man. So it's really important to, if you want to see the real you shine, and what I mean by like the real you, man, I mean like that version of you that don't really give a damn what anybody thinks about you. It's funny. I'll be at work sometimes, man. They had the music on. They be playing like 90s. I grew up in the 90s. I was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s. We'll be playing music sometimes, man, from the 90s. I'd be singing along. Some of my coworkers would be like, what you getting your white boy on, Bryce? You got your 90s white boy going. I'd be singing along with, I don't know, it'd be like some random Goo Goo Dolls, Iris. Look it up if you ain't never heard of it, but you've heard the song. It'd be like stuff like that. I'd be singing along with it, having a good old time because I don't give a damn what anybody thinks about me. Maybe 20 years ago, I might not be singing. Oh man, don't look at me a certain way. I can't sing. Or it just brings this like, you worried about what everybody got to say. Nah, man, life's too short to be worried about all that. When you start to declutter this thing, you stop giving a damn what everybody thinks about you. You start to really embrace life and have a good time, handle responsibilities, move with purpose, move with intention. This is what happens when you get the hell out of your own way. And how you get out of your own way is start to clear this up. Meditate, sit in stillness for 5 to 10 minutes. I have another video on where I talk about, 5 morning habits to start your day off very strong. And they're all like mental things, man. Cultivate this mental, cultivate a positive mental space for yourself, man. Promise you, your life will be 10 times easier. You still gonna have shit to deal with, but it'll be 10 times easier to deal with. All right, again, y'all got any value out of this? Don't forget, smash that like button. I really appreciate y'all. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. For everybody that's been watching my videos as of late, I've been getting a ton of comments, likes. I think I got like 1,000 subscribers in like 5 days. I greatly appreciate everybody who has checked out my content as of late. Yo, it's just been an awesome ride. I feel like I found my tribe. All right. If y'all want to dive deeper into any of this type of stuff, self-mastery, emotional mastery, book a one-on-one call with your boy. The link is in the description. I'll see y'all in the next video. Make sure you check out this video right here. I'll see y'all there. Peace.